I was
Yeah.
like, no, that to be
Yeah.
my hoe, to be my
Right,
side
right.
piece. I'ma still be going out to go be a hoe.
Yeah.
I just want you to be
Yeah.
that thing that I could just come home to that make me feel good, but I
Yeah.
can't commit to. Well, welcome back in, everyone. This is Black Girls Talking TV, where we bring the group chat to life and discuss all your favorite TV shows. Today is all about Bridgerton, season 4. We are discussing the first drop, which is episodes 1 through 4. I am Victoria, and just a little side note, I am a little under the weather, so excuse my voice, but I'm here. I am one of your hosts, and I'm a psychologist.
I'm Kamaria. I'm an attorney and a pop culture writer. So let's get into this. Bridgerton season 4.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
Overall thoughts, because I'm always waiting for Bridgerton. I always like it. I always enjoy
Yeah.
it. I have thoughts every season, but I do enjoy it as a show. It's a nice little a lady show.
Yeah, agreed. My overall thoughts, I think I was kind of like, the love story. I don't know if it's moving a little slower or if it's like a little
Mm. Hmm.
duller to me.
It's moving a little slower.
Is
It's
that what
moving a
it
little
is?
slower for sure.
It's
Okay,
something
because
about
usually
it.
they done had like 4, like a couple little heated scenes. They've
Yes.
only had one pretty much.
Yes. So I'm like, But there's a much different dynamic here, which is dealing
Yeah.
with somebody who is not of society or, the right class.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's playing a
Yeah.
really big part in it. But yeah, overall I think it's good. It's a classic
Mhm.
Bridgerton tale. And so I am
Mhm.
excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, no, I have enjoyed it. Initially, I didn't know if I was going to enjoy it, you know what I mean? Because I was like, I Benedict has never been my one. He's just like
Yeah.
he's in the back
All right,
shadows of
as
life
they
doing
say.
what yeah, he's just like a hoe. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that's one thing I will say that I was like, I do not like because somebody said something like reformed rakes make the best husbands. I'm like, no, let's change this narrative about trying to save a hoe. Okay.
No,
Let's change the
literally.
narrative. So I
Yeah.
was not excited for that. Overall, this just did not feel like the Bridgerton that was the catch, That was my thought process going into the season. As I began to watch it though, I felt like he just showed up in a safe way. He was just he was saving the girls. He was, being a gentleman at times, but he was pretty much exercising restraint and being very gentlemanly to her. And so that kind of won me over because I was like, okay, all right, you got a little home training. Mama Bridgerton did a good job with you. So I thought I found it to be a good storyline and him to be a good leading guy after that.
I would have to agree. And while we're here, the first thing we have to talk about, of course, is their love story. I was thinking, like, I wonder, like, I wish we had a guy sometimes on our podcast to give, like, what is that feeling when you're like, okay, I need to start growing up. I need to not be out in the streets doing all the things. I feel like we saw him transform in this season.
Mhm.
And I was like, is it,
Mhm.
sometimes they say, like, the right woman will just like turn things around for a guy sometimes. I'm not pro that. I'm not saying that be the thing, right? But it just seemed like there
Yeah.
was a lot of introspection he was having even while he was at the
Mhm.
bars and stuff. He was just sitting there like
Mhm.
this just ain't me anymore. And so I was like,
Mhm.
dang, we need a guy sometimes to come
I
on
ain't got
and
time.
because this would have been a good talking point. Like explain to me what's going on in a male brain through this becoming of a man and no longer, wanting to fly by the seat of
Yeah.
your pants.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if some of it is related to just these behaviors are like empty gratification sort of endeavors, and at a certain point you do all that you can do. I will say, like, the men who I've come across, including family members who are like, I'm ready to settle down type of, they're in that space. They seem to be, I don't want to say disillusioned, but they feel like, oh, I've done all I could do, and it's not satisfying. They're looking for more.
Yeah.
And that may be. So I don't know. Maybe a guy could come on one time, but I like the Black Girls Talking TV. I like the
Yes.
Black Girl space,
Yes.
except when we watch other shows, like,
Yeah.
But this is a very girly show,
It is.
so
It is a very girly show. But yeah, their love story in particular, like I said, it moved very, very slow. But there was something really, really innocent about it that I enjoyed. I think also just coming from her end and like her not having access to certain things in society. And so kind of not necessarily moving with like, she wasn't oblivious to things, but it was like oh, what's this and what's this? And like she was just charmed by just the beautiful things. Like
yeah,
she's the person who can stop and say like how beautiful
and
the tree was,
appreciate,
and appreciate
yeah,
like where she is in the present moment, which I think
mm-hmm,
is what Benedict probably was drawn to, right? Because his thing was
mm-hmm,
like, I don't like all of this fufugazi, being in society stuff. I just want to be a free
mm-hmm,
person, be me, and not live
mm-hmm,
by these standards. So
mm-hmm,
I enjoyed
mm-hmm.
that about their love story. What were your thoughts about it?
Yeah, no, I like that. I also like the fact that this season has allowed some discussion about power dynamics because like when Mrs. Crabtree, I guess they're the housekeepers at the cottage,
Mm-hmm.
when she mentioned that to him that like you're it's a very difficult situation. Like you're in she has to do what you say because you are of a different sort of
Right.
rank. She's not
Yeah.
gonna not do it. And so I think that was a good sort of display of those power dynamics that are at play at times in
Yeah.
relationships, like that start off like in workplaces, that start off in just whatever, like even financial,
Yeah.
like somebody is, meet you in the club or somewhere. I don't know, but
Well, I mean that is
speaking.
it seemed like it pulled on his heartstrings a little bit because when he was meeting the other young lady and she came and served him tea, he was super bothered by her serving them tea. When she spilt it on his hand
Mhm.
and he was like, leave it,
Mhm.
leave it, leave it. So yeah, it was, I
Mhm.
mean, yeah, I didn't think about the power
Yeah. I,
dynamics in that way, but
mhm.
yeah, I guess because
Yeah,
it
well,
seems so inherent,
yeah, I thought about it because she said it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because she said it, but what I did think that they were going to do, right, with the storyline, especially where they ended it near the ending, I thought their connection was going to be like him leaving and then her choosing to take her day off and go to wherever his house was and just be like, oh, I just wanted to, something very seeming like it's innocent, but it's like, girl, you here because you want something, you like, whatever. I thought they were going to do that to allow her the option, like that is really her exercising that she wants to be in this dynamic with him as opposed to it being him, because they raised the issue of the power dynamic. So I thought they were
Yeah.
going to do that a little bit. And I felt like that would just open the door because they'd be in his space. They could do whatever they want to do. You know what I mean? But it didn't happen like that. And we'll talk about towards the end. I guess we can talk about
Yeah,
now,
I'm
like
about to
the
say yeah
way they
because
ended it with the
they
mistress.
did all of that and that man said, "Be my mistress." I said, "Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up." Like, and so like what you're
Yeah.
saying about the power dynamic is like he doesn't see that ceasing because when he was like, "I want to give you
Yeah.
everything or whatever, you deserve more, and I want to do my best to give you that. Will you be my mistress?" It was kind of like,
Yeah.
you're still beneath me, and so
Yeah.
this is like as
Yeah.
best as it can get, even though I'm telling you
Yeah.
to deserve more. I felt
Yeah.
like that was like
Yeah.
the biggest slap in the face. I was like, oh
Yeah.
hell
Yeah. Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
when he did
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, no, that to be
Yeah.
my hoe, to be my
Right.
side
Right.
piece. I'ma still be on a quest
Right.
for love or going out to go be a hoe. I don't
Yeah.
know, but I just want you to be
Yeah.
that thing that I could just come home to that make me feel good, that I know I can be myself
Yeah.
around, but I
Yeah.
can't commit to.
Yeah. And I'm really glad, like, let me speak about Sophie for a moment. Like, I like Sophie as a
I
character.
do
At first I
too.
was like, oh, she a little bland, just in all respects. I like she reminds me of the first season's girl. What was her? Daphne. I
Yeah.
was like, Daphne just bland, she's just basic. And so I felt that about her. But I like her character. She's like she's very smart, she's very intelligent. And the fact that she was just like, I know my worth, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, I know. So I could be a maid, I could be whatever, but you not about to have me as your mistress. That's what's not happening. And so I really like that. And I like her character as a whole, just as a whole, She reminds me, like, of course, her and Eloise like each other. I mean, like, friendship wise are very in alignment. But Eloise, just like, sometimes I wonder, like, where's she going? I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I thought Eloise
but probably
was gay.
these men is basic. They basic.
Yeah.
They basic. You think she likes women?
I thought she
Eloise,
did.
no, I don't think so. I think she's just intelligent.
Okay.
She's too intelligent for the what they got out there. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, girl, she's too intelligent. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I would love them to wrap around that guy for her, that newspaper boy that she was like rumored in Whistledown to be alone with. Remember when they were trying to find Whistledown together? Yeah, she seemed to like him. I want her to find who she like. Not that like these are real characters, but I want that for this character, for her to find who she likes. And somebody who's intelligent enough to meet her where she is, because I done been in a lopsided intelligence relationship. It's not ideal. It's not fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Sophie. I think
I did too. Should we get into her family employer dynamics? The two sisters, I know their last name is Lee. The mama, I think her name is like Armentia or something. Not exactly sure all the names.
I didn't even catch.
But it was giving Cinderella a little bit.
Yes, I wrote that down too. I was like, this is Cinderella, except the younger sister is like nice.
Right.
Yeah. I was like, this is the story right here that really makes it interesting. More like, initially I was drawn to Sophie as a character, her storyline with this family, more than the love story.
Same.
So
yeah, because it's like this thing that she's hiding, right? And so how is that all going to play out? But what I am like, I was over there. First of all, I'm sitting thinking like, Mama Bridgerton, girl, when you gonna figure it out? Like, when you gonna put the pieces together? That's what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting for Mama Bridgerton to come through and say, this is the lady. This is her. She all for her kids just being in love. She don't care who and what and where, which is a great thing about them having her as a mother versus the other mother characters we see, the Lee's mom, Penelope's mama, they all for the BS. But it was
Chris. Oh,
go ahead.
I'm about to say, and Chrysanthema. What's that girl's name? Cressida. She wasn't in this. I ain't seen Cressida this season.
Yeah.
But I'm about to say Cressida's mom too.
Yeah.
They out here trying to get it for their daughters.
Yeah, definitely. They all trying to make sure that family wealth stay.
Where is Cressida? They emerged her as like last season as like being they shifted her character last season from being this bitch. She was biatch, and now she's like,
Yeah, child, who knows?
But they just dropped her from the scene.
I mean, I don't think she was that important.
Cressida been in every season, girl. Cressida been a main character of every season.
Yeah, but she was
every season
that bully girl. It's like she's no
longer.
But
then she became last season Eloise's friend. She was claiming Whistledown. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe she in hiding. I don't know, from her scandalous.
Yeah, maybe she out of town, child. I don't know.
You're like unamused by her.
Yeah.
But people used to love her. But anywho, I don't know.
She wasn't my fave. As you can see, the storyline lives on. But yeah, waiting for Mama Bridgerton to pull through and say she just pull it all together. But the mother, or she's considered the stepmom of Sophie. I also want to figure out more about that will, because when the daddy died, I was like, oh, she done did some fraud stuff. She need to go to jail, because ain't no way that man seemed like he left nothing for his daughter. The other thing about them, it's going to be that is just very interesting. It seems like her mom was a maid, and then hooked up with her father, right? And now here she is, being a maid, hooking up with the Bridgerton of the home, or the Sir, whatever he's supposed to be while his brother is out of town.
The Viscount?
Yes, the Viscount.
But yeah, I think that's probably also feeds into like why a character like this would be so like, no, I'm not going to be your mistress. I was the unprotected child that was the product of being my mother being a mistress,
Yeah.
So,
agreed. But yeah, they done moved in next door. I knew it was them. Every single time they kept hinting at it.
Where were they before that? I thought they were already in the neighborhood. Like where they lived before that.
Not that street. They might have been in the neighborhood, but they weren't on that street.
That's I guess that's Rodeo Drive. Okay.
Yeah, child. So we'll see how that oh no. When that happened at the end, I said, baby, it's finna get real rough for Sophie. But I feel like Sophie just need to go ahead and tell the truth. I'm hoping she just go ahead and tell the truth. Mama Bridgerton is a very caring woman, so
yeah. I mean, she hasn't lied per se because she said her last employer, and then she said she didn't want to speak about it. So but it is being hidden. It is lack of transparency for sure. A lie by omission is a lie.
Yes. So speaking of Mama Bridgerton, should we get into her and Lord Marcos?
Yeah.
Baby, Mama Bridgerton. I feel like Mama Bridgerton is the lady of the season. Okay. That woman said, this body that gave eight kids. I've only been with one person. I don't know if things are the same. I think they're the same. Dropping that robe in front of the mirror. She said, baby, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Hot and heavy. I'm ready. I feel like she is the lady of the season.
That's so interesting. I will say I appreciate the fact that there is like an older woman in a love story being played out for her at her age. I don't know how old she is in real life, but I like that as something different. And I also will say that their love story does feel cute. Like I'm not looking at it being like, oh, it's the throwaway love story. It feels cute. The throwaway love story is Francesca and her guy. But this story feels very nice. It feels very cute. It feels very nice, so I like that. The man he's in the face, he's decent, but then when he took off his top or whatever, I was like, okay, he's got some good looks, good, it's nice. He done kept it together in his older age, so nice looking guy.
They wouldn't have him get naked if he didn't. Okay.
Oh my God. So he probably wouldn't have got the role. They probably was like, take off the shirts. Let's see what it is. This role requires some nudity because he got nudity from the back.
Yes.
And from the top up. So yeah.
And Mama Bridgerton was looking like, hell yeah. Okay. She said, I am the tea you will be having. I said, oh, baby, I need to use that line. He said, we can take it slow. She said, take off your clothes.
Yeah.
And her outfit was cute too.
I was like, this is so like so old school, like
yes.
But I was like, it was good for like she's a different age and all that good stuff. So I don't feel like
she's a character to root for. I feel like with her love story because she is there for all of her kids, and she's she's a really good mom. And her character is a good mom.
I get so confused though by like what are the decency and like the decorum and the chastity sort of rules. And I know she's already had her kids and she's married, right? Yeah, she's seasoned. So it's like there's not that element per se, but there's like this decorum and this proper, way you're supposed to be. So I was like, she allowed to do that? Like, have a man at the house?
Yeah, no, I was thinking like, we're her chaperone, the way everybody else be talking about they chaperone.
I was like, does it just go away? Does like her husband be like, he's chaperoning you from heaven or something like that? Like, what is this supposed to be? Like, she earns her freedom when she's been married and widowed. Is that what it is? She
earns her
ability to do go as she pleases, because I was like, what is this? And then also sometimes they confuse me with even Sophie, and like just throughout all the seasons. It's not just Sophie and Benedict, but it's like they'll be like, oh, you can't be alone, or we're risking it being alone. But they'll ride into town on a cart alone together, and I'm like, is that allowed? What's not allowed and what's allowed? I'm like, I'm confused.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I guess some of it they just gotta be they just chuck it because they like, we got a show, we got a movie to do, okay? So sometimes it ain't gonna fit.
That, or I guess if you have like the reason, right? Like, of course they had to write back. He picked her up from distress, so it's like, how else was she gonna get back? You know, so I guess for things like that, there's a explanation for it.
Yeah, I guess so.
But
it's like, how do people you riding by gonna know? Or maybe that's considered public. Maybe that's
because they're outside. Private, they're not in the coach
and everybody
together.
Can see them.
Yeah. So maybe that's what the difference is.
But anyway, Mama Bridgerton and Lord Marcus. Yeah, it's a nice little story. Do we want to get into Penelope and her dynamic with the Queen as Lady Whistledown? And
I was like, the Queen, she taking all the fun out of it. She's taking all the fun out of Whistledown, baby. She being too bossy. She wants too much. And the Queen, clearly, she just got a lot going on in her head. She going through it over there. But I'm like, dog, you tainting Whistledown. You talking about Whistledown. And the people love Whistledown no matter what she's writing.
Yeah. I like the dynamic of the Queen being excited to have Penelope as a person. Penelope probably need to be the lady in waiting. Shoot,
hey, with all the drama, correct. I mean, she is low key a lady in waiting.
Because she's summoning her all the time. But I like the dynamic there because I feel like it keeps the Whistledown storyline alive a little bit, even though it's alive, but some of the wind feels like it's kind of like out of the cells for me as a viewer a little bit because it's not secret.
Yeah.
And then I also wonder if initially I was like, where's she gonna get all her tea from? Because people know it's her. But I like the fact that they were utilizing like the maids. The maids are telling her different things because they know everything, and so that's that's a nice little bit there, but it also is like everybody know who she is now, so it's kind of like, I don't know, this thing with the Queen adds an element to it.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing though is like for Whistledown, it's like she doesn't have to reveal who her source is. She can just say what's been going on, but not necessarily who said it. So
so there is still the anonymity in that way, just like I know. And then it's like people probably come up to her and tell her stuff all the time,
especially if it's gonna further their own agenda or ranking or whatever.
Yeah, but then she probably got to vet it, be like with the maids, like, bitch, is this bitch lying or is this some shit? But yeah, that's a nice little twist to, or journey that Whistledown is going on. Speaking of the Queen, Lady Danbury and the Queen had their sort of dynamic. I was like, at first I was like, not her saying no, but it fits in with who she is. You know what I mean, as the Queen. But when they got to the part at the end of the dynamic when she was like, I'm sorry. I was like, oh, this felt like real friendships of, it felt like this is a real, this just felt real. Something about it felt real because there's like this power dynamic, even in their friendship. We talked about power dynamics earlier, but their friendship contains a power dynamic. And then here is the actual like rubber meets the road, the tension that's come to pass because of that. So I enjoyed seeing that a little bit.
Yeah, agreed. It not hurt me, but it touched my heart, I will say, when they had that little thing. I was like, oh my God. And like Lady Danbury and
Danbury, not you Danbury, okay? Like this Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lady Danbury and what's the dude? The short man.
The short man?
Let us know in the comments. But her
I don't know who you're talking about. The short
guy
man?
that's always,
you're talking about her.
That's always with the
Queen's.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I know you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like that's all, she's had for a very, very long time. Like her husband has struggled with this mental health thing for forever. And she had mentioned like, what do I do when he dies?
Yeah.
So it's like, I think for her, she feels like her world is kind of crumbling apart,
And
and
that's
now
real
you're
life,
trying to
girl.
leave. Now you're trying to leave.
Yeah.
But it felt like she was saying like, I love you, please don't leave. She just
Yeah.
couldn't find those
Yeah.
words to say it like that
Yeah.
without,
Yeah.
her Queen Charlotte-esque oomph in it.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I agree.
But I'm like, let
It
that lady
was
go
very
home. Let that lady go home.
Yeah, because she probably gonna go home and then be like, oh, okay, I don't know these people. I ain't been
Right.
here in 50-something years, 40 years. Okay, nice visit. I'm going back.
Yeah.
So, it's just, who knows? But maybe she is exiting the season. I don't know. I mean, the show, the series.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and then she has finagled her way into getting Lady Mondridge to be the new lady in waiting.
Yeah.
I didn't know how I felt about that, especially after she kind of gave her that icy welcome when she came into the first ball, into the masquerade ball, and then Lady Danbury was like, Queen, whatever she said, Lady Mondridge's in. She was like, where's Benedict? Or whatever she said. It was kind of given like, scum, want nothing to do with you.
That's what you.
Yeah,
to me, it
she
just
just
gives
ignored
like
her
she just.
presence.
Yeah. I think she does that. It just seems like that's what she does. That's how she acts. So I do feel like she's just so like Lady Danbury is my homegirl.
Yeah.
No new friends,
Yeah.
So I think that's sort of why she acts that way. I did like her, not on their dynamic. I think she's going to be great. I think this just what Lady Danbury tapped her as she's going to be, But I loved when Lady Danbury was saying her speech to her. Her husband was smiling. I was like, this man, I've enjoyed him all the seasons. I think he's very attractive. He needs to be, they need to take us to their love story in the beginning, okay? Because he is a nice leading man.
Yeah, I mean, they're bringing him in. They bring in their storyline in, right, with her becoming the lady in waiting.
But
so
I want to
sure.
see. I want to see their love story when they started. Okay.
Yes, that would be nice because we always they're very much so. They have been extras. I think we heard about their kid when they had their son that he's I think the heir to something or whatever. But it would be nice to get a little spinoff with them. They know we come in to see our folks. And that is our only black love story.
Yeah.
In the whole franchise. I mean, it's a very intermixed, interracial.
Oh, yes. No, yeah. I agree with that. They are the only black love story.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And it's like I feel like I would expect a little bit more as Shonda being like a black woman, you know what I mean? But because I feel like what Hollywood generally does is they say, oh, diversity, let's mix in black, white, Asian, black, white, whatever. They mix everybody up in these relationships. But it's like, that's just Hollywood trying to check a box. Like, diversity is really like putting people in to your show as they are in their natural like habitat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there are black families that are like the Cosby Shows. Like, I grew up in a family like that. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like we need to see more of those. Like, that's diversity. Show us that these dynamics of black families. Show us an Asian family like whole. Where the daddy at for the leads? You know what I'm saying? Like, give us more like people in like they can be in the town with each other. You get what I'm saying? I'm not trying to say don't have biracial couples because they exist too. But if you look at TV, you look at commercials, you look at everything, it's 1,000%. When they bring in a black character, it's like they bring it in with and
it's never a minority with the minority. It's always with a white person. So
yes,
and that's where
it's like they just want to soup us into the dominant culture's status quo, as opposed to actually having true diversity and bringing in like a this is how these families function. These are how they operate. This is an aside, but what's that show? I don't watch it, but Trishina Arnold, Pam from Martin, is in it with Cedric the Entertainer. I think it's called Neighbors. It's on CBS.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that sort of dynamic is like an interesting, what I'm speaking of. It's like they have a Black family that is a Black husband, black wife. They have neighbors. They are a white family. It's the guy from New Girl, and he has a wife, and they're neighbors, and so they interact, and it's diverse. Most Black people are in black love relationships, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, most Black people, and there are Black people who are in biracial relationships, but most of us are in Black relationships with other Black people. So I feel like to not show that diversity enough is like, it's like a cop out. They just want to like check a box that they have,
and it's with everything.
So anyway, I would expect more from Shonda. Yeah. You said what?
I said it's with every race, not just Black love. Yeah, but Asians are with Asians, and yeah. But speaking of a interracial couple, we have Francesca and I think John. They can't get
everywhere you go. They there.
They I saw a post the other day that was like, the Bridgerton women love them some Black men, and I'm like, yeah. But they are having some issues in the bedroom
because she don't like men. Maybe I don't know, or maybe she's bisexual. I don't know.
You think?
What? Oh, she's definitely that. His cousin is definitely who she is. Like, she like looking. That's gonna be the next season, I think.
I thought they had some issues with each other.
At least that's what on the social media streets they were saying. And this is, if anybody don't want to know what's going on in the universe of the Bridgerton books or whatever, you can fast forward. I'll put my hand down when we're done talking about this. But so spoiler alert. But basically it seemed like in the social media streets, they basically saying the girl who is the cousin of the guy is probably going to be the new love interest, because in the book, that's the cousin's name or something. It's like Michael, and I think the girl's name is Michaela, and and the person is a cousin of Lord Sterling. And so what I saw on social media, at least myself, was that the writer was saying, like, people were up in arms about it being a lesbian relationship as opposed to being a heterosexual one, as it was in the book. And she was like, I support the way that the Bridgerton universe is unfolding. So I'm happy with it. And so I think that's the direction they're going. And when she look at her, she look like she, whatever. So I'll put my hand down. That's the end of the spoiler. But she looked like she interested in her. I don't know.
I wasn't getting that. I thought they had a little rift because she was saying she wasn't feeling welcomed by her when they were in Scotland or whatever. But
I don't know if you used to read the books, but I used to sneak and read the books when I was a kid. Not the Bridgerton books, but all of these Harlequin romance novel type books. And that's how they set up some of the best little love stories, is that they have this thing and they don't like each other, and it's like, well, why doesn't such and such like me, and da 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 da. And it's like they realize that it's just something about them. They don't want to admit it or whatever. And in this situation, he the cousin of the he.
And see, I thought Eloise was the lesbian sister.
I think Eloise is straight. I think she's just looking for an intelligent man, and she's having a hard time finding.
Even her masquerade outfit, I was like, they gave her the most lesbian outfit.
No, it was.
Okay. It was. They're looking.
It was, and I need her to not be a lesbian, because I feel like that's such a stereotype. You know what I'm saying? The old unmarried, I guess, on the shelf spinster or whatever. It's like, the lesbian women keep, like, people, you see them down the street, they be like models. You know what I'm saying? They batting people off with sticks. It doesn't have to be one stereotype for like these women, right? And so I feel like don't typecast, don't put this like, let her be an intelligent woman who's like, bitch, y'all not worthy.
I'm not with the shit. Y'all
not worthy. You won't get me until you're worthy. And because there's a lot of that, I feel like there's a lot of that. So
definitely. But the issues are, so you saying it's because she a lesbian. I was like, okay, they just had to have a little conversation, like, just to take it slow. He was talking about, so I could do more. I don't even know if they really having sex. I'm like, do they have sex, or are they fingering? Like, what is?
Nah, he was on top of her at one point, and he was. They're having sex. She just don't enjoy it. He could be better maybe also, because maybe like,
yeah, that's what I was like. It's not a me problem. It might be a you problem, baby, because it's a lot of women out here faking orgasms.
Yeah.
This is not new to
Yeah.
society.
no,
Okay.
that's real. That's very real.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like he might need to, but you know, it's so interesting when he was saying to her, like, this is what I feel when I'm with you. I got a little emotional.
Yeah, it was very sweet.
Yeah, I got a little
moving.
emotional, and I was just like,
that's very nice.
Yeah,
so romantic.
And I was like, he's also, I anticipate he's gonna try to figure out what she likes, cause she don't like no motion in the ocean. You know what I'm saying? She likes something.
Right.
Do that. You know what I'm saying? Do that. Do that. Because I'm like, he not like, you might have to go downtown, sir. Okay, like she do something. Do something that she like. Okay, because she don't like.
She might not like that tongue flicker.
Yeah, like I'm like, she not like not. Like she's still a woman, you know. She's gonna be aroused, but it's like if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, I don't know. But he right. I don't like him as a like, that was the most endearing I felt for him. Like yeah. I'm not a huge fan of him as a character. He doesn't do it for me.
I mean, they're kind of like just off to the side. Yeah, they're extras.
They are.
A story moves with or without them, but
Absolutely.
It was a good way to bring in the idea of like challenges in the bedroom, how you talk through it. Love that he called her out, like, you don't have to fake it.
Oh yeah, because I thought, I actually was believing. I was like, okay, finally he getting her. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. And he was like, look, sis,
I know you don't ever make noises.
Yeah.
He's like, this is fake, bitch. Like, this is fake. But yeah, like I said, I don't know what's gonna go on in the next seasons, but
we shall see. So we spoke a little bit about Eloise. She is definitely, I was a little like, because her sister checked her. Hyacinth was like, you basically selfish and only worried about you and your interests. Yeah. Which I think was necessary, because it was kind of like, are you supposed to be chaperoning your sister or not, helping her through this? You see she's excited about it, even though you're not. She's just so anti all of it. It's like, just because you're anti all of it does not mean everyone around you is going to be like that. So yeah, child, that's Eloise. I wasn't a fan of her.
I always like Eloise, but you saying this season or always?
I feel like last season I wasn't necessarily a fan of her. Like, she held that grudge with Penelope, I think, for too long. And again, like, was dismissive of the fact that Penelope was often very unseen. She wanted the marriage. She wanted to be noticed. Even though you didn't, it kind of worked for your friendship that you got her two people who were kind of like in the background. But it's like, you were being, again, selfish. So the seasons before that, I liked her. First and second season, I liked her, but the third, I was kind of like, and this season, I'm kind of like it's just so forceful. I think.
I mean, that was an insightful thing for, what is the sister's name? Hyacinth. Look. That was a insightful thing for her to say, especially as the younger sister, because there is something to what you're saying about her being like, it's at a certain point it can get insufferable, you know? So yeah, it gives me, like, not to say this is who this is, but it gives me Amanda Seales, like, great person, but you know how, like, people really just be like, girl, like,
either you love her or you hate her.
It's like, but she's great, very intelligent, very knowledgeable, and all those good things, but it can get a bit much for people, and it does feel like that's the direction that she's heading down, because she's just got so much commentary about society and how it's, you know, just horrible and the way it operates or whatever. But it's not too bad, but it is kind of like, okay, girl,
shut up.
But yeah, they had a little bit of Gregory in there as well. And then I wonder with Hyacinth if like, I feel like we're not pronouncing her name right, but I wonder if she,
I think it's Hyacinth.
Okay, I wonder if she is if they're actually going to create a love story around her debut as well, because I looked up her age, because I was like, she always seems super young. And so I was like,
Yeah.
at a certain point, you can't just put this young actress into these love scenes and things. And she's 18. I'm like, is that an age where they would? I feel like you should wait till the person's like 21 to do like love scenes. But but I watch a lot of I guess they're kind of like teen rom-coms. Like, what is that? Like Forever is
like Forever.
Yeah, it's like a teen-ish, but it's like it touched the masses, you know. But also Netflix show To All the Boys I've Ever Loved. That's one that is I will say it's a very steamy teen rom-com, but they are adult actresses, you know what I mean? Like they're in their 20s. And so
I mean, they take 2 years for these things to come out. So
but they're filming during that time. So I'm like, I wonder if they would do like I feel like she's gonna be, they're teeing her up, or they might just switch out an actress. Like, be like, girl,
or just give her kind of like a Francesca storyline where it wasn't too much going on with Francesca's in the beginning, and then this next season is when they started. Yeah, so that'll be 4 years. You know, she'll be a lot older.
True.
By then she might have like a
boy
little
next door
passing. Like,
give her a boy next door, young guy too. Yes. And they could build it up because this next season, like I said, I think it's gonna be Francesca's season. I think season 5 is Francesca, but I don't know. But yeah.
Because even Gregory, he's younger. How old is Gregory?
I don't know, but I didn't look up his
like
age.
He just went off to college.
I was like, he can't be no leading man. He's too young looking. Even with the peach fuzz, he's too young looking.
Yeah.
You can't.
But those are the two that need a love story.
You someone that left.
Those are the two that are left.
Well, Eloise ass like.
Oh yeah, if
Eloise ass like. I could see her with an older widowed man. Like she need her older. So like not like old. I mean, just like what's her mama's man's age? That level of age. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like she need her.
I don't know about that one.
What I'm saying? Because I'm saying like he could be intelligent. He's worldly. Like these ones on her level, on her age, they ain't on her level. You know what I'm saying? She need to go up a little bit.
Maybe a few years. Maybe like 6, 7. I don't know about 10, 15, 20. I don't know about that.
Yeah. But either way, they have her. So I wonder if they're ever gonna give her a love story. I feel like
if they do, I'm calling it. It's gonna be a lesbian love story.
I would really. I feel like that would be cheap writing because you can write her into a lesbian very easily, but to write her as just like an intelligent woman who is not finding these men interesting, I feel like that's a very realistic story that is not about her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's cheap writing to write her as a lesbian because obviously she could be one, but I'd like to see them do something else with her. So anyway, they had Colin in here a little bit too. He ain't really had no major.
They getting it on, baby.
You said what?
Him and Penelope getting it on, baby. They got that young fire, hot, steamy. As soon as I look at you, love. Yeah. Which I wish that for all of us, ladies.
Yeah.
Somebody who just look at you and want to rip your clothes off. We love that.
Yeah. I was like, but with the personality match because those be a dime a dozen for real. Yeah. Like, and so I'm like these men. Anyway, I do want to get into the Maid drama. I thought that was a very interesting. You know, they focus much more on maids in that service class because of Sophie as a main character, I think. Mm-hmm. But anything else before we dip into that?
Nope, I think we can go right on into the Maid Wars. It was, I think, an interesting ad. It gave us another perspective, another storyline, because usually the maids are just there. But now we get to see them like in the break room, going out, all the things, talking, yada, yada, yada. I think the most interesting part was Penelope's mom. What's her name?
I don't know. Lady Featherington? I don't know.
Yeah, Featherington. Yeah. That her maid, they had that encounter, and now she finna be working with the lead next door. I was like, oh, baby, this finna be...
Yeah.
She went from one evil to another.
No.
Quite literally.
Facts. But she is going to be getting paid more. But she probably will go back before the season, before the, everything ends. But my biggest thought with her, I was like, not Lady Featherington still being a bitch. Like, girl.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Like,
you want to give that lady some dresses and talk about, oh, because I gave you some dresses, I need to go get some more. Like, huh?
yeah.
I would have been watching them pockets too. Man, you said you couldn't give me a specific raise because of money. So
yeah,
I had to go somewhere else. She thought she was, when she said, you can leave if you're unhappy, she thought she was going to stay.
Oh, I didn't even think she thought she was going to stay. You thought she was going to stay? You thought she was going to stay?
I thought
she was just being a bitch. She thought she could get somebody else. Like, I feel like she just felt like I can get someone else.
It felt like she was playing her power trump card. Like, let's see where you go, you know, type vibes. Yeah. I don't think she thought she would actually leave.
That's interesting. Yeah. But yeah, well, so she is at the Lee's house. They have moved in next door. Any predictions for where we're gonna? Did you watch the preview for?
I did watch the preview. Yes. I think the biggest thing for me is I want to see Mama Bridgerton say this is her.
Oh, I thought you were about to say I want to see that will, because I'm like, that's gonna bust some shit wide open.
That too.
Okay.
I want to see the will as well, so that she knows she is a lady of society. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But I also though want them to like, I want this season to be like a Bridgerton being like, fuck y'all, we are going to marry this woman and she's gonna be, you're gonna respect her, that sort of thing, without her having to be like, oh, I'm a woman of nobility because my father was a nobleman, and that now you can marry me type of thing. I want them to like take buck against society a little bit, because that's the only way these things change. Somebody take a little, you know, a little stand. So I'm hoping for that, and I don't know what they're gonna do. It doesn't seem like they're leaving enough room to have an opportunity for them to like make that choice and then have to struggle against society. It doesn't seem like that's going to be a part of this love story. Like, because what they could have did is have him make the choice now, and then the part 2 was like, how are they going to survive society like having this? But they didn't do that, so you know.
Yeah, we'll see, child. We'll see. It'll be another 4 episodes?
Yeah.
So I mean, they can cover a lot of ground.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll see.
Yeah. But already, I think that is it for Bridgerton, the first drop. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and we will catch you for the next drop next month.
All right.
Bye.